Everyone wants to live a long life. Everyone wants to stay healthy. But today, health feels confusing. Too many rules. Too much advice. Too much pressure. Eat this. Do not eat that. Exercise more. Sleep less. Follow this trend. Avoid that habit. It is exhausting. What if living healthy was not hard? What if wellness did not control your life? What if you could enjoy life and still live longer? That is what this book is about. You are in the right place. Welcome to Book Verse. This channel is for people who love books and want simple, clear ideas that actually work. Here, we share audiobook summaries of powerful self-help books, so you can learn faster, think better, and live smarter. If you love books and real-life wisdom, subscribe to Book Verse. Now let us begin. Today, we are covering the book, Eat Your Ice Cream, 6 Simple Rules for a Long and Healthy Life, chapter by chapter. Listen carefully. This book will change how you think about health. Chapter 1. Stop making health complicated. Health was never meant to be confusing. It was never meant to feel heavy. It was never meant to feel like a full-time job. Yet today, for many people, health feels stressful. It feels overwhelming. It feels impossible to do right. Everywhere you look, someone is telling you something different. Eat this. Do not eat that. Walk more. Run more. Lift weights. Do yoga. Sleep 8 hours. Wake up at 5. Drink green juice. Avoid sugar forever. And slowly, quietly, something breaks. Not your body, your motivation. Because when health becomes complicated, people quit. Not because they are lazy, but because they are human. Health fails when it becomes extreme, when it demands perfection, when it asks you to change your entire life overnight. That is the first truth you must understand. Simple health works. Complicated health does not. The human body does not need obsession. It needs consistency. Think about it. For thousands of years, humans lived without calorie counters, without fitness trackers, without diet plans, without wellness influencers. And yet, they moved. They ate. They rested. They connected. They lived. Modern health did not fail because we lack information. It failed because we have too much of it. Too many rules. Too many warnings. Too many perfect plans. And perfection is the enemy of progress. When health feels like punishment, the mind resists. When wellness feels like control, the heart pushes back. Health should not control your life. It should support it. That is the core idea of this chapter. Wellness should fit into life. Life should not be forced to fit into wellness. If your health routine makes you anxious, something is wrong. If it makes you feel guilty all the time, something is wrong. If it makes you afraid of food, rest, or enjoyment, something is wrong. Because fear is not a sustainable fuel. You cannot scare yourself into a healthy life. You cannot shame yourself into long-term change. Real health is calm. Real health is boring. Real health is repeatable. It is not built on motivation. It is built on habits. Small habits. Simple habits. Forgiving habits. Most people think they fail at health because they are weak. That is not true. They fail because they choose systems that are too heavy to carry. Extreme diets collapse. Extreme workouts injure. Extreme routines burn out. The body does not reward extremes. It survives them. Then it rebels. Simple habits, on the other hand, compound quietly. A short walk every day. A mostly balanced plate. Enough sleep most nights. Moments of calm. Moments of joy. These things do not look impressive on social media, but they work. Health is not a transformation. It is maintenance. It is showing up imperfectly again and again. And this is where many people get stuck. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect version of themselves. But health does not begin with perfection. It begins with permission. Permission to start small. Permission to be inconsistent. Permission to enjoy life while improving it. The book reminds us of something very important. Health is not a moral test. You are not a bad person because you ate cake. You are not weak because you skipped a workout. Your body is not judging you. It is responding to what you do most often. And most often matters more than always. When health becomes complicated, it steals joy. When joy disappears, habits disappear too. That is why wellness must feel livable. A healthy life should still include laughter. It should still include celebration. It should still include comfort. If your health plan does not allow room for being human, it will not last. This chapter challenges a dangerous belief. The belief that harder is better. The belief that stricter is smarter. The belief that suffering equals success. That belief is wrong. Health is not built through punishment. It is built through care. Care for your body. Care for your mind. Care for your energy. You do not need to overhaul your life. You need to simplify it. Remove the noise. Remove the extremes. Remove the guilt. Replace them with basics. Eat mostly real food. Move your body regularly. Sleep when you can. Connect with people. Enjoy small pleasures. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. The body responds best to steady signals, not sudden shocks. Think of health like a relationship. If you yell at it, restrict it, control it, and punish it, it will not cooperate. But if you listen to it, respect it, and care for it, it responds with strength. This chapter is not asking you to lower your standards. It is asking you to raise your sustainability, because sustainable health is powerful. It does not collapse during stress. It does not disappear during busy weeks. It does not fall apart after one mistake. It bends. It adapts. It continues. And that is the kind of health that lasts a lifetime. The goal is not to live perfectly. The goal is to live long and well. A long life without joy is not a win. A disciplined life without pleasure is not success. Health should help you live more fully, not make you afraid to live. So stop making health complicated. Stop chasing every new rule. Stop punishing yourself for being human. Choose simple. Choose repeatable. Choose kind. Because the healthiest life is not the strictest one. It is the one you can live. Chapter 2. Longevity is not a competition. Everyone wants to live longer. That desire is natural. It is human. But somewhere along the way, longevity became a race. Who lives the longest, who ages the slowest, who avoids death the best. And in that race, something important was lost. The point of living. Living longer means nothing if life itself feels empty. Extra years mean nothing if those years are full of fear, stress, and restriction. Longevity is not a trophy. It is not a scorecard. It is not a competition. Yet modern health culture treats it like one. Count your steps. Track your sleep. Measure your heart rate. Optimize everything. And while you are busy measuring life, life quietly passes by. The book makes this truth very clear. Living well matters more than living long. A shorter life filled with meaning, connection, and joy is far richer than a long life ruled by fear. Fear is the most dangerous motivator in health. Fear of dying early, fear of disease, fear of aging, fear of doing something wrong. Fear pushes people into extreme decisions, and extreme decisions do not last. When health choices are driven by fear, they become rigid, they become joyless, they become exhausting, and exhaustion kills consistency. People who live longest are not the most obsessed. They are the most balanced. They eat well most of the time. They move often, not violently. They rest. They connect. They laugh. They are not perfect. They are present. Chasing extra years can quietly steal the years you already have. Think about it. If you avoid every pleasure, every celebration, every indulgence, just to add a few years at the end, what did you really gain? A life lived under constant restriction does not feel like life. The body does not just need nutrients. It needs meaning. It needs moments that feel worth living for. Longevity without quality becomes survival, not living. This chapter challenges a deeply rooted belief. The belief that longer is always better. But better is better. Better days, better energy, better relationships, better mornings, better evenings. Health should improve your daily experience of life, not turn it into a list of rules. Many people make health decisions as if death is chasing them. They cut out everything enjoyable. They follow harsh routines. They punish their bodies. But fear-based health does not build trust with the body. It builds tension, and tension is stressful. Chronic stress is one of the biggest enemies of long-term health. So when people sacrifice joy for longevity, they often hurt the very thing they are trying to protect. Quality of life is not optional. It is central. A healthy life includes pleasure. It includes rest. It includes connection. Longevity is not about squeezing every possible year. It is about making the years you have worth living. The book reminds us of something powerful. No one knows their exact expiration date. You can do everything right and still face illness. You can break rules and still live a long life. Health is not a guarantee. It is a probability. So the goal is not control. The goal is resilience. Resilient health adapts. It does not panic. When health choices come from calm understanding, they are easier to maintain. When they come from fear, they collapse under pressure. Fear makes people extreme. Calm makes people consistent. Consistency is what the body responds to, not intensity, not obsession, not sacrifice. You do not need to earn your life by suffering through it. Living well today matters more than gambling everything on tomorrow. This does not mean ignoring health. It means reframing it. Health should be a support system, not a prison. You should not feel afraid to enjoy a meal. You should not feel guilty for resting. You should not feel anxious about every choice, because anxiety is not health. The book asks an important question. What is the point of a long life? If you spend it worrying about dying, that question changes everything. A calm mind supports the body. A joyful heart supports longevity. People who feel connected live longer. People who feel purposeful live better. These are not trends. They are patterns seen across cultures and generations. Longevity does not come from hacking the body. It comes from respecting it. Respect includes allowing pleasure. Respect includes allowing rest. Respect includes allowing imperfection. Fear-based health decisions reduce joy. Reduced joy reduces motivation. Reduced motivation reduces consistency. And without consistency, health fades. This is why competition thinking is dangerous. Comparing yourself to others creates pressure. Pressure creates stress. Stress disrupts health. Your body does not care what others are doing. It responds to what you do repeatedly. You do not need the longest life on record. You need a life that feels full. The book encourages a shift from how long can I live to how well can I live. That shift removes fear. It brings clarity. When you stop competing, you start listening. Listening to your body, listening to your energy, listening to your needs. And your needs will change with time. Health at 20 is not health at 50. Health at 50 is not health at 70. Flexibility matters. Rigid systems break under time. Flexible systems survive. Longevity is a byproduct, not a target. When people focus on living well, longevity often follows naturally. But when they focus only on longevity, life shrinks. The healthiest people are not obsessed with death. They are engaged with life. They wake up with something to look forward to. They maintain relationships. They stay curious. They adapt. These things do not appear on fitness apps, but they show up in long-term outcomes. The book does not reject science. It rejects fear-driven misuse of science. Data should inform life, not dominate it. Your life is more than numbers, more than charts, more than predictions. It is experiences. It is memories. It is moments. And moments are what give years their value. This chapter gently reminds us you are allowed to enjoy your life while taking care of your health. These two things are not enemies. You do not need to choose between pleasure and longevity. You need balance. Balance is not perfect. It is responsive. Some days you rest more. Some days you move more. Some days you enjoy more. Some days you simplify. That is living. Longevity is not about fearfully extending life. It is about confidently inhabiting it. The goal is not to survive longer. The goal is to live deeper. When health decisions come from calm wisdom, they last. When they come from fear, they fail. So stop racing. Stop comparing. Stop chasing numbers. Choose presence. Choose meaning. Choose consistency, because living well is not something you postpone. It is something you practice now. And when you live well, you are already winning. Chapter 3. Ignore the wellness noise. Every day, you hear new health advice. Every day, someone claims they found the secret. One headline says coffee is bad. Another says coffee saves your life. One influencer says carbs kill you. Another says carbs heal you. One study scares you. The next study contradicts it. And slowly, confusion replaces clarity. This is the wellness noise. It is loud. It is constant. And it is exhausting. The modern health world is not quiet. It screams for your attention. Scroll your phone for 5 minutes, and you will see detox plans, miracle supplements, biohacks, anti-aging tricks, and fear-based warnings. Most of it sounds urgent. Most of it sounds scientific. Most of it is exaggerated. This chapter makes one thing clear. Noise is not knowledge. Influencers are rewarded for attention, not for accuracy. Headlines are designed to shock, not to educate. Weak science becomes strong claims once it passes through media filters. And you pay the price, because confusion kills action. When you hear too many opinions, you stop trusting any of them. You hesitate. You delay. You quit. The book explains a hard truth. Most health trends are distractions, not solutions. They keep you busy, but not better. They promise shortcuts, but create stress. They shift focus away from habits that matter. The wellness industry thrives on novelty. Your health thrives on repetition. New ideas sell. Old habits work. This is why noise is dangerous. It constantly pulls your attention away from simple, proven behaviors. Eat reasonably. Move regularly. Sleep consistently. Connect socially. These habits are boring, so they are ignored. Instead, you are sold complexity, complex routines, complex rules, complex restrictions, and complexity creates failure because life is already complex. You do not need health advice. That requires constant monitoring and fear. The book encourages you to become selective. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every study applies to you. Not every influencer knows what they are talking about. Most headlines exaggerate weak science. A small study becomes a global rule. A correlation becomes a cause. A possibility becomes a certainty. And context disappears. Science is slow. Media is fast. Science is cautious. Media is dramatic. This mismatch creates noise. The result is constant anxiety about health. People feel like they are always doing something wrong. They fear eating the wrong food. They fear missing the right supplement. They fear aging incorrectly. Fear becomes the driver again, and fear never leads to sustainable health. The book asks you to pause, to step back from the noise, to stop chasing every new idea, and instead focus on what has strong evidence. Strong evidence does not change every week. Strong evidence is boring. It is stable. It is consistent. Strong evidence supports habits that humans have followed for decades. Balanced eating, regular movement, adequate sleep, mental engagement, social connection. These are not trending. They are proven. Most health breakthroughs are not breakthroughs. They are repackaged basics. Noise distracts you from basics by making them feel insufficient. But basics work. The wellness noise often creates extremes. Eliminate entire food groups. Exercise to exhaustion. Optimize every biological marker. But extreme approaches rarely last. And health that does not last is not health. Influencers rarely show you the long-term cost. They show transformation photos. They show dramatic stories. They show exceptional cases. They do not show burnout. They do not show injuries. They do not show mental stress, because those do not sell. This chapter reminds you, your health does not need to be impressive. It needs to be sustainable. You do not need perfect information. You need consistent behavior. The book emphasizes a powerful principle. If something truly worked, it would not need constant promotion. Real health habits spread quietly. They become part of culture. They do not require daily hype. Noise creates urgency. Urgency creates anxiety. Anxiety creates paralysis. This is why many people know a lot about health, but do very little. They are overwhelmed. The solution is not more information. It is better filtering. You must learn to ignore. Ignore headlines that promise extremes. Ignore influencers selling fear. Ignore advice that feels complicated and stressful. Your body responds to calm repetition, not panic-driven changes. Focus only on habits backed by strong evidence. Strong evidence means large studies, long-term outcomes, consistent results across populations, not a single experiment, not a dramatic claim, not a viral post. The book does not ask you to distrust science. It asks you to understand it. Science is about probability, not certainty. Most wellness noise presents guesses as facts. And when facts change, trust breaks. This is why people feel betrayed by health advice, because it was never solid to begin with. Real health guidance evolves slowly. It adds nuance. It adjusts gently. It does not flip every month. Ignoring wellness noise is an act of self-respect. It protects your mental energy. Your attention is limited. Every trend you chase takes energy away from habits that matter. The book encourages simplicity. Simple habits repeated daily outperform complex systems attempted occasionally. This is not exciting, but it is effective. You do not need to know everything. You need to do a few things well. When you reduce noise, clarity returns. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop jumping between plans. You stop restarting every Monday. You build trust with yourself. And trust is the foundation of long-term health. The more noise you consume, the less confident you feel. The less noise you consume, the calmer you become. Calm decisions last longer. The book also highlights an important mindset shift. Health is not about avoiding every risk. It is about managing risk wisely. Noise exaggerates danger. Evidence puts danger in context. Eating one imperfect meal does not ruin your health. Missing one workout does not destroy your progress. Health is built over years, not days. Noise makes everything feel urgent and fragile. Reality is more forgiving. When you ignore wellness noise, you reclaim control. You stop outsourcing your judgment to strangers online. You start trusting patterns, not promises. You become less reactive and more intentional. This chapter is not about ignorance. It is about discernment. Choosing what to ignore is as important as choosing what to follow. Your health does not need constant upgrades. It needs stability. Most of what works has worked for a long time. The book gently pushes you toward maturity in health. not excitement, not fear, but grounded understanding. When you step away from noise, you create space, space to listen to your body, space to notice patterns, space to live. And living is the point. Health should support life, not dominate it. So ignore the noise, protect your attention, commit to habits with strong evidence, and let go of the rest, because clarity is healthier than chaos, and calm consistency beats loud confusion every single time. Chapter 4. Eat real food, not perfect food. Food has become stressful. It was not always this way. Food used to be simple. Food used to be social. Food used to be enjoyable. Now, food feels like a test. Every meal feels like a decision with consequences. Every bite feels like it needs justification. People ask, is this healthy? Is this clean? Is this allowed? Nutrition has become a source of anxiety, and anxiety ruins consistency. This chapter delivers a clear message. Nutrition does not require obsession. You do not need perfect food. You need real food. Real food eaten consistently beats perfect food eaten occasionally. The book challenges the idea that health comes from strict rules. Strict rules create pressure. Pressure creates guilt. Guilt creates quitting. Most people do not fail nutrition because they eat ice cream. They fail because they try to eat perfectly and cannot maintain it. Perfection is fragile. Life is not. Real life includes celebrations. Real life includes stress. Real life includes convenience. A nutrition plan that ignores real life will not survive it. Balanced, mostly healthy eating works long term, not extreme eating, not restrictive eating, not fear-based eating. Balanced eating allows flexibility. Flexibility builds sustainability. The book emphasizes a powerful truth. Health is built by patterns, not moments. One meal does not define you. One day does not ruin you. What matters is what you do most of the time. And most of the time, you should eat real food. Real food is not complicated. Foods that look like food. Foods with simple ingredients. Foods that humans have eaten for generations. Vegetables, fruits, whole grains, proteins, healthy fats. This is not revolutionary. It is reliable. The wellness noise tries to convince you that nutrition is a puzzle you must constantly solve. But the body thrives on simplicity. When nutrition becomes extreme, people lose trust in themselves. They stop listening to hunger. They stop enjoying meals. They stop eating socially. Food becomes control instead of nourishment. This chapter brings relief. You do not need to earn food. You do not need to punish yourself after eating. Food is not moral. There is no good food and bad food. There is only context and frequency. Eating vegetables most days is helpful. Eating ice cream sometimes is human. Enjoyment matters. Enjoyment improves consistency. When people enjoy what they eat, they stick with healthier patterns longer. The book does not promote indulgence without awareness. It promotes balance without guilt. This is an important difference. You can enjoy treats without letting them control you. Ice cream becomes a symbol here. Ice cream represents freedom. It represents pleasure without panic. The message is not, eat ice cream every day. The message is, do not fear ice cream. Fear leads to binge cycles. Restriction leads to obsession. Balance leads to peace. When food rules become too strict, the mind rebels. Eventually, control breaks. Then guilt follows. Then people quit entirely. The book wants you to avoid this cycle. Nutrition should support your life, not dominate it. Eating should feel normal. Meals should feel satisfying. Food should bring energy, not constant self-judgment. Balanced eating includes variety. Variety provides nutrients. Variety prevents boredom. Variety supports mental health. The more restrictive your diet, the more fragile it becomes. One unexpected event can derail everything. A balanced approach adapts. It allows flexibility without collapse. This is why balanced eating works long-term. It respects human behavior. It accounts for stress. It accounts for culture. It accounts for joy. Nutrition advice often fails because it ignores psychology. People are not machines. They eat for comfort. They eat for connection. They eat for celebration. Ignoring this reality creates unsustainable plans. The book is honest. You will eat desserts sometimes. You will eat convenience foods sometimes. You will eat emotionally sometimes. This does not disqualify you from health. What matters is the overall pattern. Mostly nourishing foods. Mostly regular meals. Mostly mindful choices. Perfection is not required. Consistency is. The chapter also addresses obsession. Tracking every calorie. Measuring every gram. Analyzing every ingredient. For some people, this level of control becomes unhealthy. It creates anxiety. It removes joy. It increases stress. Stress harms health. So chasing perfect nutrition can ironically reduce health. This is a critical insight. More effort does not always mean better outcomes. Sometimes, less control creates more balance. The book encourages ease. Choose meals you can repeat. Choose foods you enjoy. Choose patterns you can sustain. Nutrition should fade into the background. It should support your life quietly. When nutrition becomes your identity, something is off balance. Health is not about optimization. It is about longevity and quality. Quality includes enjoyment. A life without pleasure is not a healthy life. Ice cream appears again here. As a reminder, you can be healthy and still enjoy treats. You do not need permission. You do not need justification. You need perspective. Eating one bowl of ice cream does not undo years of healthy habits. What undoes habits is guilt-driven thinking. Guilt leads to all-or-nothing behavior. All-or-nothing thinking destroys consistency. Balanced thinking preserves it. The book suggests practical guidance. Eat regular meals. Do not skip to compensate. Include protein and fiber. Pay attention to fullness. Simple habits. No extreme rules. When you eat well most of the time, your body regulates itself. Hunger signals improve. Energy stabilizes. Cravings decrease. This is not magic. It is biology responding to consistency. The chapter also challenges food trends. Superfoods, detoxes, cleanses. These promise shortcuts, but health has no shortcuts. You cannot cleanse years of behavior with a week of restriction. The body already detoxifies itself. Your job is to support it, not punish it. Eating real food does that. Eating enough does that. Eating with enjoyment does that. The book removes pressure. You do not need to chase perfection. You need to build trust. Trust that your body can handle variety. Trust that balance works. Trust that enjoyment belongs in health. When people trust themselves, they eat better naturally. They stop rebelling. They stop binging. They stop obsessing. Food becomes neutral again. And neutrality is powerful. It frees mental space. It allows focus on living. This chapter reinforces a theme that runs through the book. Health should be invisible. It should fit into life, not replace it. Eating real food most days and enjoying treats occasionally is not weakness. It is wisdom. This approach lasts, and longevity is about lasting, not intensity, not perfection, but sustainability. As this chapter closes, the message is clear. Stop trying to eat perfectly. Start eating realistically. Choose balance over obsession. Choose patterns over rules. Choose enjoyment without guilt, because a healthy life is one you actually want to live, and food should help you live it fully. In the next chapter, the focus shifts away from food and toward movement, not exercise as punishment, but movement as a natural part of life. Chapter 5. Alcohol and moderation. Alcohol creates confusion. Some people call it medicine. Some people call it poison. Most people feel stuck between guilt and habit. This chapter cuts through the extremes. Alcohol is not a miracle. Alcohol is not pure poison. It is a substance that requires awareness, and awareness changes outcomes. The problem is not alcohol alone. The problem is how people think about alcohol. When people believe alcohol is harmless, they overuse it. When people believe alcohol is evil, they binge in secret. Both extremes cause damage. Moderation is not weakness. Moderation is intelligence. The book does not tell you to never drink again. It tells you to stop lying to yourself. Honesty matters. Alcohol affects sleep. Alcohol affects recovery. Alcohol affects mood. These effects are real. Ignoring them does not make them disappear, but exaggerating them creates fear, not clarity. Fear-based health decisions do not last. People quit fear-based rules. People sustain awareness-based habits. The book emphasizes a calm truth. What you do regularly matters more than what you do occasionally. One drink does not define you. One celebration does not ruin you. But repeated unconscious drinking slowly erodes health. The damage is subtle. That is why it gets ignored. Alcohol often hides behind routine. A drink after work, a drink with dinner, a drink to relax. Over time, the reason disappears. The habit remains. This chapter asks you to pause. Why are you drinking? When are you drinking? How does it actually affect you? These questions are powerful. They shift alcohol from autopilot to awareness. Moderation begins with noticing, not rules, not labels. Awareness. The book explains something important. Alcohol research is often misinterpreted. Headlines exaggerate benefits. Social media amplifies confusion. Some studies show minor benefits. Many show risks. The truth lives in context. Dose matters. Frequency matters. Individual response matters. There is no universal rule. Your body is the data. How do you sleep after drinking? How do you feel the next morning? How is your energy the next day? These answers guide better choices than any headline. Moderation means choosing intentionally, not mindlessly. It means drinking because you want to, not because it is automatic. It means stopping before alcohol decides for you. The book does not shame. Shame does not change behavior. Shame drives secrecy. Honesty creates choice. And you always have a choice. You can choose to drink less without declaring extremes. You can choose alcohol-free days without labels. You can choose water without explanation. You do not need permission. Moderation allows flexibility. Flexibility builds consistency. Extreme restriction often backfires. People hold it until they break. Then they binge. Moderation prevents that cycle. It creates space for enjoyment without loss of control. Alcohol is also social. It connects people. It marks celebration. Ignoring this reality creates unrealistic advice. The book respects real life. You attend weddings. You attend dinners. You attend gatherings. Health should fit into these moments, not isolate you from them. Moderation means participating without excess, enjoying without escaping, drinking without numbing. This distinction matters. Alcohol becomes harmful when it becomes a coping strategy, when stress demands alcohol, when boredom demands alcohol, when emotions demand alcohol. That is the line to notice. The book encourages self-checks. Are you drinking to celebrate or to avoid feeling? Are you drinking consciously or by habit? Are you stopping easily or pushing past signals? These questions restore control. Alcohol does not remove agency. Unawareness does. Moderation keeps agency intact. Another key message appears here. Health is not about elimination. It is about regulation. Elimination creates obsession. Regulation creates balance. When you regulate alcohol, you learn trust. Trust in your judgment. Trust in your limits. This trust carries into other areas. The chapter also addresses guilt. People often drink, then punish themselves mentally. Guilt increases stress. Stress harms health. A calm evaluation is better. What happened? What did you notice? What would you adjust next time? No drama, no shame, just information. This approach keeps health sustainable. The book reminds you, you are an adult. You can decide. You do not need extreme rules. To act responsibly, you need clarity. Moderation looks different for different people. Some choose fewer days. Some choose smaller amounts. Some choose specific occasions. There is no moral hierarchy. There is only alignment with your health goals. Alcohol does not need to disappear for health to improve. Often, awareness alone naturally reduces intake. People drink less when they listen more. The chapter emphasizes sleep again. Alcohol disrupts deep sleep. Even small amounts can matter. This is not a warning. It is information. Information empowers choice. If sleep matters to you, alcohol timing matters. If energy matters to you, frequency matters. This is not about fear. It is about trade-offs. Every choice has trade-offs. Moderation means choosing knowingly. The book also dismantles myths. Alcohol is not stress relief. It delays processing stress. Alcohol is not sleep aid. It fragments sleep. Knowing this changes behavior, not instantly, but gradually. Gradual change lasts. The chapter brings the focus back to the book's core philosophy. Health should be simple. Health should be honest. Health should fit into life. Alcohol does not need drama. It needs awareness. Moderation is not boring. It is freeing. It removes guilt. It removes obsession. It returns control to you. As this chapter closes, the message is steady and clear. You do not need extremes. You need honesty. You do not need fear. You need awareness. You do not need perfection. You need consistency. Alcohol handled with moderation fits into a long, healthy life. And health that fits into life is the only kind that lasts. In the next chapter, the focus moves from what you consume to how you move, not exercise as punishment, but movement as daily maintenance. Chapter 6. Move your body every day. Movement is medicine, not the kind you take in a pill, not the kind you endure with guilt, the kind you do because your body needs it. Too many people overcomplicate exercise. They think fitness must be extreme. They think it must be structured. They think it must be punishing. This is false. Exercise does not need to be intense or punishing. Consistency matters far more than intensity. Movement is not about perfection. It is about regularity. You do not need a gym membership. You do not need fancy equipment. You do not need hours of your day. What matters is that your body moves. Every day, even small movements compound. A walk after lunch, taking stairs instead of the elevator, stretching when you wake up. These habits protect your health. They improve energy. They improve mood. They improve longevity. The book emphasizes a truth often overlooked. Most health benefits come from daily movement, not rare, intense workouts. A 1-hour session once a week cannot compensate for inactivity the other 6 days. This is the reality. Consistency beats intensity. Small, repeated actions create durable results. Movement becomes a habit, not a chore. The key is to integrate it naturally into life. Stand instead of sitting. Walk instead of driving short distances. Play with children or pets. These are not optional extras. They are foundational. The book warns against punishment-based exercise. Exercising because you ate too much. Exercising to punish your body. Exercising to chase a number on a scale. These motivations create resentment. They create stress. They create burnout. Instead, the book encourages joyful movement. Movement should feel good. Movement should energize. Movement should connect your mind and body. This approach is sustainable. When exercise feels like punishment, you quit. When exercise feels like life, you continue. The book provides practical guidance. Start small. Set achievable goals. Move daily, even if only briefly. It is better to walk for 10 minutes every day than to run 5 miles once a week. This builds momentum. Momentum builds habit. Habit builds lifelong health. The book also highlights strength and mobility. Muscle is medicine. Strong muscles protect bones. Strong muscles protect joints. Strong muscles support metabolism. Flexibility protects mobility. Stretching reduces injury risk. Stretching improves posture. Stretching improves comfort in daily life. Balance is critical. Balance exercises prevent falls. Balance exercises strengthen coordination. Balance exercises create confidence in movement. The book challenges the obsession with intense cardio, running marathons, high-intensity interval training, sweating until exhaustion. These are optional, not essential, not required for longevity. What is essential is regular, purposeful movement. The chapter reminds you that inactivity is harmful. Sitting for hours at a time increases risk of disease. It decreases energy. It slows metabolism. Movement reverses these effects. Even gentle movement, even slow movement, even consistent movement. This is the gift of daily action. The book also addresses accountability. Alone, motivation fluctuates. Plans fail when motivation wanes. Consistency suffers. Solutions exist. Track movement. Use reminders. Pair movement with social support. Consistency thrives on routine. Routine removes reliance on willpower. Routine builds trust in yourself. Movement is also mental medicine. Walking clears the mind. Stretching reduces tension. Strength exercises improve mood. The brain thrives on activity. The heart thrives on activity. The body thrives on activity. The book emphasizes integration. Move naturally in your environment. Walk while making calls. Stretch during breaks. Bike instead of driving. Integration removes barriers. Barriers are the enemy of consistency. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. This is repeated throughout the book. Do not forget it. The chapter warns against overexertion. Pushing too hard too fast increases injury risk. It reduces adherence. It diminishes joy. Progress should be gradual. Incremental improvement compounds over time. Small gains become significant outcomes. The book encourages listening to your body. Pain signals adjustment. Fatigue signals rest. Discomfort signals adaptation. Ignoring these signals creates harm. Respecting them builds resilience. The chapter highlights social movement. Exercising with friends or family creates accountability, creates enjoyment, creates lifelong habits. Movement does not need to be solitary. It should be social when possible. The book dispels the myth of perfection. Missing a day does not undo progress. Skipping a session does not mean failure. Consistency is long-term, not daily perfection. Forgiveness is part of consistency. Missed sessions are learning opportunities. They are chances to adjust habits. The chapter emphasizes that movement supports all systems. Circulation improves. Metabolism improves. Energy improves. Mental clarity improves. It is a multiplier for health. Small, repeated movements generate disproportionate benefits. The book advises variety. Walking, stretching, strength balance. Mixing different movements. Reduces boredom. Reduces injury risk. Optimizes health. The chapter emphasizes mindset. Movement is not punishment. It is privilege. It is freedom. This shift changes outcomes. From dread to anticipation. From obligation to choice. From fear to empowerment. The chapter reinforces key repetition. Consistency beats intensity. Daily movement matters more than perfection. Small actions compound into lifelong benefits. The book encourages lifelong habit formation. Movement should persist through decades, not as intense performance, but as daily maintenance. The chapter provides clear instructions. Move at least 30 minutes per day. Break it into small sessions if needed. Include strength and mobility exercises twice a week. Stretch daily. Walk whenever possible. Use stairs. Stand instead of sitting. Every choice counts. Every step matters. Every repetition builds resilience. The chapter ends with a reminder. Do not chase extremes. Do not punish yourself. Do not overcomplicate. Move every day. Move consistently. Move joyfully. Your body is listening. Your health is listening. Your longevity is listening, and this listening rewards you with energy, strength, and freedom. As this chapter closes, remember the lesson is simple. Daily, purposeful movement trumps rare, intense sessions. Consistency is the ultimate exercise. In the next chapter, the focus moves to sleep. Sleep is often underestimated, yet it shapes health more than diet or exercise alone. Chapter 7. Sleep is not optional. Sleep is not optional. It is not a reward. It is not a luxury. It is a foundation. Your body needs sleep. Your brain needs sleep. Your immune system needs sleep. Without it, nothing else works well. Exercise, nutrition, and mindfulness cannot compensate for chronic sleep loss. You can eat perfectly. You can move daily. You can manage stress. But if you consistently undersleep, your health suffers. The book emphasizes this truth. Sleep supports immunity. Sleep supports mood. Sleep supports brain health. Sleep consolidates memory. Sleep clears toxins from the brain. Sleep regulates hormones. Without enough sleep, metabolism slows. Appetite increases. Energy drops. Decision-making suffers. Focus fades. Emotional resilience disappears. Sleep is not optional. It is non-negotiable. Yet most people treat it as optional. They sacrifice it for work. They sacrifice it for social media. They sacrifice it for entertainment. These choices accumulate. One night alone does not break you. Repeated nights of insufficient sleep create long-term damage. The book explains the silent cost. Chronic sleep loss increases risk of disease. It harms heart health. It harms mental health. It impairs performance. This is not fear-mongering. It is science. It is reality. Protecting sleep improves everything else. You exercise better. You eat better. You think clearer. You feel stronger. The key is consistency. Going to bed at different times every night confuses your body clock. Sleeping in on weekends cannot undo weekday debt. Regularity matters. Every night counts. The book also addresses myths. Sleep is flexible. Sleep can be caught up later. These are lies. Your body does not work that way. Sleep debt accumulates silently. It weakens your defenses. It slows recovery. It clouds judgment. The book provides practical steps. Prioritize sleep. Make it non-negotiable. Set a bedtime. Protect a quiet, dark, cool environment. Limit screens before bed. Avoid heavy meals late at night. Reduce caffeine after midday. These simple steps matter. They are small, actionable, and realistic. The chapter reminds you, sleep is restorative. Sleep is protective. Sleep is a tool, not a chore. It is part of your lifestyle, not something to squeeze in, not something to skip. The book also highlights mental health. Sleep improves emotional regulation. It prevents irritability. It improves decision-making. When you undersleep, you react impulsively. You overthink. You worry more. Sleep reduces these reactions. It creates clarity. It strengthens confidence. The chapter emphasizes the connection to longevity. Those who sleep well consistently live longer, healthier lives. Those who do not pay a price silently year after year. Sleep is also cumulative. Small improvements add up. Shifting bedtime earlier by 15 minutes can change your energy over months. Adding a consistent wind-down routine reduces insomnia and stress. The book warns against extremes. Oversleeping does not equal better health. Sleeping 9 to 10 hours regularly, without medical necessity, can disrupt rhythm. The optimal range is consistent, restorative sleep, usually 7 to 9 hours for adults. The book emphasizes listening to your body. Some nights may require more rest. Some nights may require less. Adaptability matters, but regularity is key. Another important lesson: sleep affects appetite and metabolism. Leptin and ghrelin, hunger hormones, respond to sleep quality. When you sleep poorly, you crave sugar and processed foods. Your nutrition suffers silently. Exercise becomes harder. Energy declines. This is why protecting sleep improves everything else. The book also explains the mind-body connection. Poor sleep increases stress hormones. Cortisol rises. Adrenal fatigue develops. Anxiety worsens. Sleep resets your system. It regulates hormones. It restores calm. It gives control back to you. Sleep affects cognitive performance, memory, creativity, learning, and focus. All rely on proper sleep. When sleep is insufficient, even the smartest, most disciplined people make mistakes. The chapter emphasizes mindfulness around sleep. Notice patterns. Notice disruptions. Notice recovery. Adjust behavior accordingly. The book encourages practical strategies. Keep consistent sleep and wake times. Create a relaxing pre-sleep routine. Dim lights 1 hour before bed. Avoid screens that emit blue light. Keep your bedroom cool and dark. Use sound machines if needed. Avoid alcohol close to bedtime. Small actions build better sleep. Consistency compounds benefits over time. The chapter warns against sleep obsession. Do not stress about sleep. Worrying prevents sleep. Trying too hard backfires. Relaxation is the priority. Comfort is the priority. Routine is the priority. Sleep is not performance. It is preparation. Preparation for energy. Preparation for focus. Preparation for resilience. The book highlights long-term perspective. Your lifetime sleep habits matter. They shape health, mood, immunity, and cognition, decade after decade. Good sleep habits early. Prevent chronic issues later. Poor sleep habits early. Create invisible debt that compounds. The chapter reinforces repetition. Sleep is not optional. Protecting sleep improves everything else. Consistency beats intensity. Small, repeated habits create durable results. Sleep supports every aspect of health: movement, nutrition, mindset, mood, immunity, longevity. All are amplified by restorative sleep. The book stresses balance. Avoid extremes. Avoid obsession. Avoid guilt. Instead, prioritize. Plan for it. Respect it. Sleep is the ultimate foundation. Build your health on it. Everything else becomes easier. The chapter encourages reflection. Ask yourself, am I sleeping enough? Am I sleeping consistently? Do I wake rested? Do I have energy throughout the day? Answer honestly, then act. This is how you regain control. Sleep is not passive. It is active restoration. It is a choice to respect your body. It is a choice to value your mind. The book closes this chapter with clarity. Protect sleep. Respect sleep. Make it non-negotiable. Small, consistent improvements compound. Sleep shapes everything else in life. As this chapter ends, the book prepares to connect sleep to social engagement, purpose, and daily habits that maximize health and enjoyment. In the next chapter, the focus shifts to mental acuity, focus, and stress management, because clarity and purpose amplify every healthy choice. Chapter 8. Keep your brain active. Your brain is alive. It is not a machine that runs forever without care. It is more like a muscle. When you use it, it grows stronger. When you ignore it, it becomes weaker. Many people think aging happens only to the body. They think the brain will take care of itself. This belief is dangerous because the brain changes every day. It either grows or it slowly fades. Mental activity is protection. It is defense. It is investment. A brain that is used stays sharp. A brain that is challenged stays young. A brain that learns stays flexible. But a brain that sleeps all day, a brain that only scrolls, a brain that avoids thinking, that brain slowly loses power. This does not happen overnight. It happens quietly, day by day, choice by choice. You do not lose your mind suddenly. You lose it by not using it. Keeping your brain active is not about being a genius. It is not about complex theories. It is not about pressure. It is about engagement. It is about curiosity. It is about choosing to think instead of drifting. Your brain loves work, but it hates boredom. When you learn something new, your brain wakes up. When you read, your brain connects ideas. When you solve problems, your brain builds strength. This is how mental health is protected. This is how memory stays alive. This is how focus is trained. Passive living is the enemy of the brain. Passive living feels easy, but it is expensive in the long run. When life becomes only watching, only consuming, only reacting, the brain slowly shuts down unused parts. Comfort weakens the mind. Challenge strengthens it. You do not need hours of study. You do not need expensive tools. You do not need perfect conditions. You only need intention. Learning does not end after school. Learning does not end after college. Learning does not end after a job. Learning ends only when you stop choosing it. Every time you learn, your brain creates new paths, new connections, new strength. These connections protect you later. They protect memory. They protect decision making. They protect emotional control. Reading is one of the simplest brain exercises. When you read, your mind imagines. It focuses. It connects words to meaning. Even a few pages a day matter. Even slow reading matters. Even simple books matter. The brain does not judge difficulty. It responds to effort. Problem solving is another powerful tool. Puzzles, games, planning, thinking ahead. When you solve problems, your brain practices logic. It practices patience. It practices flexibility. This skill protects you from panic. It protects you from confusion. It helps you adapt when life changes, because life always changes. A passive brain struggles with change. An active brain adjusts faster. Curiosity is fuel. When curiosity dies, the brain slows down. When curiosity lives, the brain stays alert. Ask questions, even small ones, even simple ones. Why does this work? How does this happen? What could be different? Curiosity keeps your inner world alive. Mental engagement also protects emotional health. An active mind has less space for constant worry, less space for endless negative thoughts. When your brain is engaged, it feels purpose. Purpose calms anxiety. Purpose gives direction. Passive living increases mental noise. Active living brings mental order. Learning new skills is powerful. It does not matter what skill. Language, music, writing, cooking, technology. Struggle is not failure. Struggle is training. When something feels hard, your brain is growing. When something feels uncomfortable, new pathways are forming. Avoiding challenge keeps the brain small. Facing challenge keeps it alive. Your brain adapts to what you ask from it. If you ask nothing, it gives little. If you ask more, it gives more. This is how humans survived. This is how humans evolved. Mental decline is not only age-related, it is habit-related. A young brain can decline early. An older brain can stay sharp. The difference is use. Passive entertainment is not the same as mental engagement. Watching endlessly is easy for the brain. It requires little effort, little focus. Occasional rest is fine, but constant passivity weakens attention. Balance matters. Create small daily challenges. Read something new. Learn one idea. Solve one problem. Consistency matters more than intensity. You do not need motivation first. Action creates motivation. Your brain responds to routine. When you feed it learning daily, it expects more. This builds momentum. This builds confidence. Mental strength grows quietly. You may not notice it daily, but over time, it changes everything. Better focus, clearer thinking, stronger memory, calmer emotions. Mental engagement also improves self-respect. When you grow mentally, you trust yourself more. You feel capable. You feel alive. A busy mind is not the same as an active mind. Overthinking is not engagement. Worry is not learning. True mental activity is intentional. It has direction. It has purpose. Choose depth over noise. Choose thinking over distraction. Even conversations can activate the brain. Deep talks, new perspectives, listening carefully, talking only on the surface keeps the mind shallow. Exploring ideas keeps it sharp. Writing is another powerful tool. When you write, you organize thoughts. You clarify emotions. You understand yourself better. Even short writing helps. A few lines, a few thoughts. The brain loves expression. Mental engagement protects independence. A sharp mind makes better decisions. It avoids unnecessary mistakes. It adapts faster. This is especially important later in life. But it starts now. The habits you build today shape your future brain. Do not wait for decline to care. Build strength before you need it. Your brain is plastic. It changes. It adapts. It responds. This is hope. This is power. Every time you choose learning, you vote for a stronger future. Every time you choose curiosity, you protect your mind. Passive living feels safe, but it slowly steals sharpness. It steals confidence. It steals clarity. Active living asks effort, but it gives strength. It gives resilience. It gives meaning. Your brain wants to grow. Give it a reason. Read, learn, think, ask, create. These small actions compound. 1 page a day becomes knowledge. 1 question a day becomes wisdom. 1 challenge a day becomes strength. Mental engagement is not optional. It is essential. A strong body needs a strong mind. A strong mind needs daily use. Protect your brain like you protect your body. Feed it, train it, respect it. Your future clarity depends on today's choices. Keep your brain active. Not tomorrow, not someday, today, because a mind that keeps moving, keeps living. Chapter 9. Social connection extends life. Humans are not meant to live alone. We are wired for connection. From birth, we depend on others to survive. This need never disappears. It only changes form. Loneliness is not just emotional pain. It is physical stress for the body and mind. It silently damages health over time. Research shows something powerful. Chronic loneliness harms health as much as smoking. It increases inflammation, weakens immunity, and strains the heart. This means connection is not optional. It is essential for long life. Strong relationships protect the body. They calm the nervous system. They reduce stress hormones. They help the body heal faster. A connected person recovers better from illness. A connected person handles stress with more strength. A connected person lives longer. Social connection is a health habit, just like food, just like sleep, just like movement. Many people underestimate this truth. They focus only on diet and exercise. They ignore relationships. But the body feels isolation deeply. It reads loneliness as danger. When you feel alone, the brain activates stress mode. Heart rate increases, cortisol rises, and immunity weakens. Over time, this damages health. Loneliness makes pain feel stronger. Loneliness makes problems feel heavier. Loneliness makes recovery slower. Connection does the opposite. It creates safety. It creates calm. It creates strength. When you feel supported, your body relaxes. When you feel seen, your mind settles. When you feel understood, stress softens. This is biology, not weakness. Strong relationships improve resilience. Resilience means bouncing back faster from hardship. It means not breaking under pressure. When life hits hard, connection cushions the fall. It reminds you that you are not alone. It reminds you that help exists. People with strong social bonds survive crises better. They cope with loss more effectively. They recover from trauma with less damage. Connection gives perspective. It stops the mind from spiraling. It brings balance. You do not need many people. You need meaningful ones. One deep connection is more powerful than many shallow ones. Quality matters more than quantity. A single trusted person can reduce stress dramatically. A single honest conversation can lift heavy emotional weight. Human connection includes many forms: family, friends, partners, community, even shared purpose. What matters is feeling valued, feeling heard, feeling included. Passive isolation is dangerous. It often happens quietly. Busy schedules, digital distraction, emotional walls. You may be surrounded by people, yet feel alone. This kind of loneliness is especially harmful. True connection requires presence, not just physical presence, but emotional presence. Listening matters. Eye contact matters. Honesty matters. Connection is not perfection. It is vulnerability. Sharing struggles builds closeness. Pretending strength builds distance. Many people avoid connection to avoid pain, but isolation creates deeper pain. Trust grows slowly, but it grows. Strong relationships do not remove problems. They make problems lighter to carry. Laughter is medicine. Shared laughter releases endorphins, calming the body. It reduces pain and strengthens immunity. Touch also matters. A hug, a handshake, a gentle pat, safe physical contact lowers stress hormones. It sends a message of safety to the brain. Modern life reduces natural connection. Screens replace conversations. Messages replace voices. Technology is useful, but it cannot fully replace human presence. Digital contact helps, but it is incomplete. The body still needs real connection. Social habits must be built intentionally. They do not happen automatically. Schedule time for people. Protect it like health appointments. Small interactions matter. A call, a check-in message, a shared meal. Consistency matters more than grand gestures. Community improves longevity. Being part of something larger gives meaning. Meaning improves mental health. People with purpose live longer. Connection creates purpose. Helping others strengthens your own health. Acts of kindness activate reward systems in the brain. They reduce depression and increase life satisfaction. Giving connection is as powerful as receiving it. Isolation narrows thinking. Connection expands it. When you talk, thoughts organize. When you share, emotions release. When you listen, empathy grows. Empathy builds stronger bonds. Stronger bonds create emotional safety. Emotional safety protects mental health. Mental health protects physical health. Everything is connected. Loneliness increases unhealthy behaviors. Poor sleep, poor diet, low motivation. Connection improves habits naturally. You eat better. You move more. You rest easier. Accountability increases with connection. Support makes discipline easier. A connected person feels responsibility, not pressure, but care. Strong relationships also improve aging. They protect memory. They protect cognitive health. Conversation stimulates the brain. It challenges thinking. It keeps the mind sharp. Isolation accelerates mental decline. Connection slows it. Elderly people with strong social ties live longer. They experience less depression. They maintain independence longer. This is not coincidence. It is cause and effect. You do not outgrow the need for people. You grow deeper into it. Building connection requires effort, but effort pays dividends. Be curious about people. Ask questions. Listen fully. Put the phone down. Be present. Presence is rare. That makes it powerful. Do not wait for loneliness to force action. Build connection proactively. Even introverts need connection. It just looks different. Quiet conversations count. One-on-one time counts. Shared silence counts. Connection does not mean constant talking. It means shared understanding. Boundaries matter. Healthy relationships respect limits. They do not drain constantly. Choose people who uplift. Choose people who respect growth. Toxic connection harms health. Healthy connection heals it. Loneliness is not a personal failure. It is a human signal. It signals the need for reconnection, not shame. Respond with compassion, not avoidance. You deserve connection. You deserve support. You deserve belonging. Make connection a daily habit. just like movement, just like sleep. Reach out, stay open, invest time, because human connection extends life, not just in years, but in quality. A longer life without connection feels empty. A connected life feels full. Strong relationships make life richer. They make pain softer. They make joy deeper. Your health depends on people just as much as food and exercise. Protect your connections. Nurture them. Value them. Because in the end, we heal together. We grow together. We live longer together. Chapter 10. Stress is the silent risk. Stress is everywhere. It follows you to work. It follows you home. It follows you into sleep. Stress is not always loud. It is often quiet. That is why it is dangerous. Chronic stress damages the body slowly and silently. You may not notice it today, but the body remembers. Stress activates survival systems. Heart rate rises. Muscles tighten. Breathing becomes shallow. This response is useful for short emergencies. It is harmful when it never turns off. When stress stays high, the body never rests. Healing slows. Immunity weakens. Inflammation increases. Over time, this creates disease. Chronic stress increases heart disease risk. It raises blood pressure. It disrupts blood sugar control. Stress damages the brain. Memory suffers. Focus weakens. Decision-making declines. Stress also affects digestion. Appetite changes. Gut health suffers. Stress ages the body faster. It shortens telomeres inside cells. This accelerates biological aging. This is why stress is a silent risk. It works in the background. It does not announce itself. Many people ignore stress signals. Fatigue, irritability, poor sleep. These are warnings, not personality traits. Stress is not weakness. It is biology responding to overload. Avoiding stress completely is impossible. Life includes pressure. Responsibilities create demand. The goal is not zero stress. The goal is managed stress. Managing stress is more important than avoiding it. Avoidance shrinks life. Management strengthens it. Stress becomes dangerous when recovery disappears. The body needs cycles. Effort, then rest. Challenge, then calm. Without recovery, stress accumulates. Modern life removes recovery. Notifications never stop. Work follows everywhere. The nervous system stays activated. This keeps cortisol elevated. Cortisol is helpful short-term. Chronic cortisol is damaging. It breaks down muscle. It increases fat storage. It suppresses immunity. Stress also drives unhealthy coping. Overeating, alcohol misuse, withdrawal. These behaviors worsen health further. Managing stress starts with awareness. You must notice stress patterns. When does tension rise? What triggers it? How long it lasts? Awareness gives control. Calm routines protect long-term health. Routines tell the nervous system you are safe. Predictability reduces stress response. Morning routines matter. Evening routines matter. Start the day grounded. End the day slowly. Simple rituals create stability. Consistency creates safety. Breathing is the fastest stress regulator. Slow breathing activates the parasympathetic system. This calms the body. Deep breaths signal safety. They lower heart rate. They relax muscles. You do not need meditation mastery. You need consistency. 2 minutes of slow breathing helps. Done daily, it compounds. Movement reduces stress. Gentle walking calms the nervous system. Stretching releases tension. Exercise burns stress hormones. It resets the body. Sleep is critical for stress recovery. Without sleep, stress multiplies. Protect sleep fiercely. It is stress medicine. Nutrition affects stress response. Blood sugar swings increase irritability. Balanced meals stabilize mood. Connection reduces stress. Being heard lowers cortisol. Support creates emotional safety. Isolation intensifies stress. Shared experience softens it. Boundaries reduce stress. Saying no protects energy. Overcommitment fuels burnout. Burnout is chronic stress unchecked. Rest is not laziness. It is maintenance. The body requires downtime. The brain requires silence. Silence allows recovery. Mental stress matters too. Overthinking exhausts the mind. Rumination traps energy. Stress is amplified by interpretation. How you frame events matters. Catastrophic thinking increases stress response. Perspective reduces it. Not every problem is an emergency. Most are manageable. Reframing thoughts calms physiology. You cannot control events. You can control response. This is power. Stress also accumulates emotionally. Unexpressed feelings stay in the body. Talking releases tension. Writing releases tension. Suppressed stress becomes physical symptoms. Headaches, muscle pain, digestive issues. Emotional expression is health maintenance. Daily calm practices matter more than occasional breaks. Consistency beats intensity. Short daily resets prevent overload. 5 minutes of calm daily is powerful. It teaches the nervous system balance. Stress management is not indulgence. It is survival. Many people normalize constant stress. They call it ambition. They call it productivity. But the body pays the cost. You cannot outwork stress. You cannot ignore biology. The body always collects the bill. Calm routines create resilience. Resilience means handling stress without breaking. Resilient people still feel stress. They recover faster. Recovery is the key. Recovery restores energy. It repairs tissue. It stabilizes mood. Without recovery, stress becomes chronic. Build recovery into daily life, not as a reward, as a requirement. Slow mornings reduce stress load. Calm evenings prepare sleep. Limit stimulation at night. Screens excite the brain. Silence calms it. Nature reduces stress naturally. Green spaces lower cortisol. Sunlight regulates circadian rhythm. Time outside matters. Gratitude shifts focus. It reduces threat perception. It improves mood. Small positive moments matter. They counterbalance stress. Stress is cumulative. Relief must also be cumulative. Small daily calm beats rare vacations. Do not wait for breakdown. Manage stress early. Stress unmanaged becomes illness. Illness reduces quality of life. Quality of life matters more than constant achievement. Stress steals joy quietly. Calm restores it gently. You deserve peace. You deserve balance. Managing stress is a skill. Skills improve with practice. Practice calm daily. Protect routines. Honor rest, because stress is silent, but its damage is real. Calm is powerful. It protects the body. It preserves the mind. Long-term health depends on nervous system balance. Balance requires intention. Choose calm daily, not avoidance. Management, because a calm body heals better. A calm mind lives better. Stress is the silent risk. Calm is the quiet solution. Chapter 11. Purpose gives life energy. Energy does not only come from sleep. Energy comes from meaning. You can rest all night and still feel tired. You can sleep 8 hours and wake up empty. This happens when purpose is missing. Purpose gives life direction. Direction creates energy. When you know why you wake up, energy follows. When you do not, fatigue increases. Purpose improves motivation and resilience. It gives the mind something to move toward. Without purpose, effort feels heavy. With purpose, effort feels meaningful. Purpose is not about passion. Passion comes and goes. Purpose is deeper. It is about contribution. It is about direction. Meaningful work and goals support well-being. They give structure to time. They give value to effort. When days feel empty, stress increases. When days feel meaningful, stress softens. Purpose stabilizes emotions. It anchors identity. It reduces anxiety. A reason to wake up matters more than motivation. Motivation depends on mood. Purpose does not. Motivation is unreliable. Purpose is steady. You cannot wait to feel motivated. You build purpose first. Purpose fuels action, even on hard days. Especially on hard days. People with purpose recover faster. They bounce back stronger. Purpose improves resilience. Resilience protects health. Studies show people with purpose live longer. They experience less depression. They handle stress better. Purpose influences biology. It affects hormones. It affects immune function. Meaning changes how the body responds to stress. Stress feels less threatening when purpose exists. Purpose reframes hardship. Pain becomes part of a larger story. Without purpose, pain feels pointless. With purpose, pain becomes tolerable. This is why purpose matters for health. Not abstract health. Real daily well-being. Purpose is not about career status. It is not about titles. It is not about income. Purpose is about usefulness, contribution, direction. You do not need a grand mission. You need a reason. Small purposes matter. Daily purposes matter. Caring for family, helping others, creating something meaningful. Purpose is personal. No one assigns it to you. You choose it. Purpose can change over time. That is normal. What matters is having one now. Without purpose, life feels reactive. You respond to demands. You chase distractions. With purpose, life feels intentional. You choose actions. You set priorities. Purpose filters decisions. It tells you what matters. It tells you what does not. This reduces overwhelm. This conserves energy. Many people feel drained because they say yes to everything. Purpose allows selective yes. Purpose protects time. Time is energy. When you waste time, energy drains. When you invest time, energy grows. Purpose aligns actions. Alignment reduces internal conflict. Internal conflict drains energy. Alignment restores it. Living against values creates stress. Living aligned creates peace. Purpose connects values to behavior. This connection is powerful. You feel better when actions match values. The body responds positively. Purpose reduces rumination. It quiets mental noise. When you know why you act, doubt decreases. Purpose also improves discipline. Discipline requires reason. You can tolerate discomfort when purpose exists. You cannot tolerate discomfort when it feels meaningless. Purpose explains effort. This is why purpose matters more than motivation. Motivation fades. Purpose stays. Purpose turns routine into ritual, work into service, effort into meaning. Purpose is energy recycled daily. Without purpose, rest never feels enough. With purpose, rest restores. Purpose also guides goals. Goals without purpose feel hollow. Purposeful goals feel energizing. Chasing goals for approval drains energy. Pursuing goals for meaning restores it. External validation is unstable. Purpose is internal. Purpose makes progress satisfying. Even small progress matters. This builds momentum. Purpose also protects mental health. Depression often includes loss of meaning. Anxiety often includes lack of direction. Purpose addresses both. Purpose gives perspective. Problems shrink when placed in context. Purpose also reduces fear of failure. Failure becomes feedback, not identity. Purpose reframes setbacks. They become lessons, not verdicts. This builds resilience. Resilience supports longevity. Longevity without purpose is empty. Living longer means little without meaning. This book is not about maximizing years. It is about maximizing life. Purpose is central to that goal. Purpose does not require perfection. It requires commitment. You do not need clarity on everything. You need clarity on something. One reason, one direction. Purpose grows with action. You discover it by doing. Waiting for purpose keeps you stuck. Acting reveals it. Start where you are, with what you have. Purpose is not found. It is built. Small contributions matter. Daily usefulness matters. Helping one person matters. Creating one thing matters. Purpose compounds. Small meaning adds up. You do not need to change the world. You need to engage with it. Purpose keeps the mind active. It keeps the heart engaged. Engagement improves health. People with purpose take better care of themselves. They sleep better. They move more. They eat with intention. Purpose encourages self-respect. Self-respect supports healthy choices. When life feels meaningful, you protect it. Purpose also strengthens identity. You know who you are becoming. This reduces confusion. Confusion drains energy. Clarity restores it. Purpose does not eliminate stress. It makes stress manageable. Stress with meaning feels different. It feels temporary. Purpose also encourages growth. Growth keeps the brain active. Active brains age better. Purpose is a mental exercise. It keeps cognition sharp. Retirement without purpose increases decline. Activity with meaning protects health. Purpose does not end with age. It evolves. Older adults with purpose thrive longer. Purpose gives mornings energy. It gives nights satisfaction. Waking with intention matters. Ending days with meaning matters. This improves sleep. This improves mood. Purpose is a health habit, like movement, like nutrition. Ignoring purpose weakens well-being. You must choose purpose intentionally. No one hands it to you. Ask yourself, what matters now? Who needs you? What needs doing? Purpose does not need applause. It needs consistency. Show up daily. Serve something bigger than comfort. Purpose is not pressure. It is direction. It simplifies decisions. It focuses effort. Purpose reduces burnout. Burnout comes from effort without meaning. Meaning protects energy. If you feel exhausted, check purpose. Not only sleep, not only diet. Energy is emotional too. Purpose fuels emotional energy. This chapter is not asking for perfection. It is asking for direction. Choose something meaningful. Commit to it. Protect it. Because purpose gives life energy. Without it, health suffers. With it, resilience grows. Longevity without meaning is survival. Meaning turns survival into life. As you continue this journey, remember this. Health is not only physical, it is existential. The next chapter will build on this truth, because purpose leads naturally into how you live each day. Chapter 12. Doctors matter, not Google. Information has never been easier to access. Wisdom has never been harder to find. You can search anything in seconds. Symptoms, side effects, diagnoses. This feels empowering. It feels like control. But access is not expertise, and information is not judgment. Professional medical advice beats internet research. Every time. Google does not know you. Your doctor does. Google does not see patterns. Your doctor does. Google shows extremes. Doctors see averages. Online searches amplify fear. Medical professionals reduce it. The internet is designed for clicks. Medicine is designed for outcomes. Search results prioritize engagement. Healthcare prioritizes evidence. This difference matters. When you Google symptoms, you see worst cases. Rare diseases appear common. Anxiety increases. Fear grows faster than facts online. Fear-based health decisions reduce clarity. They increase stress. Stress damages health. You already learned this. Doctors are trained to evaluate risk. They understand probability. They understand context. Context is everything in health. A headache online means disaster. A headache to a doctor means assessment. Doctors ask questions. They examine patterns. They consider history. Google does not do that. Online advice lacks accountability. Doctors carry responsibility. Doctors update knowledge through training. Algorithms update through engagement. This difference saves lives. Preventive care catches problems early. Early detection changes outcomes. Waiting for symptoms is risky. Prevention reduces risk. Doctors focus on prevention. Google focuses on reaction. Preventive care is quiet. It does not trend, but it works. Regular checkups detect issues early. Early issues are easier to treat. Blood pressure does not hurt, but it damages silently. Cholesterol does not announce itself, but it builds risk. Doctors measure what you cannot feel. Google waits until fear appears. Trust evidence, not online fear. Fear feels urgent. Evidence feels calm. Fear demands action now. Evidence guides action wisely. Doctors rely on studies, not headlines. Medical guidelines evolve with data. Online trends shift with attention. This matters for long-term health. Many people delay care because Google reassures them falsely. Others panic unnecessarily. Both outcomes are harmful. Doctors balance reassurance with caution. That balance protects health. The internet lacks balance. It amplifies extremes. This is not anti-information. This is pro-interpretation. Doctors interpret data. Google displays it. Interpretation requires training. Medical school teaches pattern recognition. Experience teaches nuance. Nuance prevents mistakes. You do not need to know everything. You need the right guidance. Doctors are partners, not authority figures. They collaborate with you. Good doctors listen. They explain. They adjust. You must choose engagement, not avoidance. Avoiding doctors feels easier short-term. It costs more long-term. Preventive visits reduce future complications. They save time, money, and health. Ignoring care increases risk. Trusting professionals does not mean blind obedience. It means informed collaboration. Ask questions. Seek clarity, but trust training over trends. Social media simplifies complex health topics. Simplification creates distortion. Health is rarely binary. It is contextual. Doctors understand trade-offs. Online advice ignores them. One-size-fits-all advice fails. Doctors personalize care. Google generalizes. Personalization improves outcomes. Preventive screenings matter. Vaccinations matter. Monitoring matters. None of these go viral. All of them save lives. Doctors track changes over time. That longitudinal view is powerful. Google sees snapshots. Doctors see patterns. Patterns predict outcomes. Many serious diseases are preventable or manageable when caught early. Early care reduces suffering. Late care increases complexity. Doctors are trained for early intervention. Trusting professionals reduces cognitive load. You do not need to research endlessly. Decision fatigue harms health. Delegation restores energy. Trusting a qualified professional is efficient. Online research often leads to confirmation bias. You search for what you fear. You find it. Doctors challenge assumptions. They test hypotheses. Testing replaces guessing. Medicine is not perfect, but it improves with evidence. Online advice often resists correction. It thrives on certainty. Certainty without evidence is dangerous. Doctors say, it depends. That honesty matters. Health decisions require nuance. Preventive care also builds relationships. Doctors learn your baseline. Baseline knowledge improves diagnosis. A doctor who knows you notices changes. Google cannot. Consistency matters in healthcare. Jumping between sources creates confusion. Consistency creates clarity. You deserve clear guidance, not constant alarm. Doctors also coordinate care. They refer specialists when needed. Google isolates information. Doctors integrate it. Integration improves safety. Medication interactions matter. Dosage matters. Timing matters. Online advice ignores complexity. Doctors protect against harm. Fear-based health culture creates extremes. Over-testing. Under-treatment. Doctors aim for balance. Trusting evidence reduces anxiety. Anxiety worsens health. Calm improves outcomes. This chapter is not about surrendering control. It is about choosing expertise. You still make decisions. You just do not make them alone. Healthcare is a team effort. You are part of the team. Doctors guide strategy. You execute habits. This partnership works best. Ignoring doctors increases reliance on myths. Myths waste energy. Energy is precious. Protect it. Focus on habits supported by evidence. Doctors help identify those. Nutrition, movement, sleep, stress. Doctors reinforce fundamentals. Online culture chases hacks. Doctors reinforce basics. Basics work. Preventive care supports longevity. Longevity with quality matters. Doctors help maintain quality. Health is not an experiment. Your body is not a testing ground. Choose evidence over trends. Choose trust over fear. Doctors matter because health is complex, because misinformation spreads fast, because prevention saves lives. This chapter reinforces a central theme. Simple, evidence-based choices outperform extremes. Doctors help simplify health. Google complicates it. As you move forward, remember this. Use information wisely. Trust professionals deeply. The next chapter will shift focus inward, from external guidance to internal habits, because once guidance is clear, action matters. Next, we explore how daily routines shape long-term health and why consistency beats intensity every time. Chapter 13. Sustainable habits beat extreme changes. Extreme changes feel powerful. They look impressive. They sound motivating, but they rarely last. Health does not fail because people do not try hard enough. Health fails because people try too hard, all at once. Extreme lifestyle changes rarely last. That is not weakness. That is biology. Your brain resists sudden disruption. Your body seeks stability. When change feels overwhelming, consistency collapses. Small, repeatable habits compound over time. That is the truth. Health improves through consistency, not perfection. You do not need a perfect plan. You need a plan you can repeat. Most people fail because they chase transformation instead of sustainability. They want fast results. They want visible change. But health rewards patience. Extreme diets create temporary results. Then old habits return. Extreme workouts create burnout. Then inactivity follows. Extreme rules demand constant willpower. Willpower is limited. Sustainable habits reduce friction. They fit into life. Health should support life, not dominate it. Small actions feel insignificant today, but they compound tomorrow. One healthy meal does not change everything, but repeating it does. One walk does not transform your body, but daily movement does. One good night of sleep helps. Consistent sleep heals. Consistency creates momentum. Momentum creates trust. Trust builds confidence. Extreme changes break trust. You fail once, then you quit. Sustainable habits forgive imperfection. They allow flexibility. Flexibility keeps you moving. Health is not about never failing. It is about resuming quickly. Sustainable habits create resilience. Resilience outlasts motivation. Motivation is emotional. Habits are structural. You cannot rely on motivation daily. You can rely on systems. Sustainable systems remove decision fatigue. They automate good behavior. You brush your teeth without debate. That is a habit. Health habits should feel similar. When habits are small, they feel manageable. When they feel manageable, you repeat them. Repetition builds identity. You become someone who moves daily, someone who eats reasonably, someone who sleeps consistently. Identity sustains behavior. Extreme changes attack identity. They demand a new version overnight. That creates resistance. Your brain prefers familiarity. Sustainable habits evolve familiarity. They expand gradually. 5 minutes of movement is easier than an hour, but 5 minutes daily compounds. Skipping perfection keeps progress alive. Many people abandon health because they aim too high. They believe more is better. More is often worse. Extreme goals increase pressure. Pressure increases stress. Stress damages health. Sustainable habits reduce stress. They create calm consistency. Health thrives in calm. This book emphasizes ease, not effort. Ease increases adherence. Adherence creates results. Long-term health depends on what you do most days, not what you do occasionally. Occasional extremes do not protect health. Daily basics do. Sustainable habits respect reality. Busy days, low energy days, they adjust without breaking. You do not need perfect weeks. You need imperfect consistency. Progress happens quietly. It does not announce itself. That frustrates people. They want dramatic change. Health prefers subtle change. Subtle change accumulates power. 1% improvements compound massively. This is science. Small improvements reduce injury, reduce burnout, reduce relapse. Extreme changes increase all three. Health improves through repetition. Repetition creates neurological wiring. Your brain adapts to repeated behavior. That adaptation builds automaticity. Automatic habits require less effort. Less effort increases longevity of behavior. This is why sustainability matters. Sustainable habits fit into identity. They become part of who you are. Extreme changes feel external. They feel imposed. Imposed behaviors create rebellion. Your body resists punishment. It responds to care. Gentle consistency outperforms harsh discipline. Discipline does not mean intensity. Discipline means showing up repeatedly. Consistency is discipline. Skipping one day does not erase progress. Quitting does. Sustainable habits allow recovery. They allow flexibility. Health is dynamic. Your habits must adapt. Rigid systems break under stress. Flexible systems bend. Bending preserves momentum. Momentum keeps habits alive. This chapter reinforces a core principle. Health should be boring. Boring habits last. Exciting changes fade. You do not need dramatic routines. You need repeatable ones. Simple meals, regular movement, predictable sleep. These are boring. They work. Extreme routines attract attention. They do not attract longevity. Longevity requires patience. Small habits feel slow, but they build durability. Durability matters more than speed. Fast results often reverse. Slow progress compounds. Health is a long game. The best habit is the one you do consistently, not the one that looks impressive. Sustainable habits reduce guilt. Guilt sabotages progress. Health should not feel like punishment. It should feel supportive. When habits align with life, they persist. Consistency builds trust with yourself. That trust increases confidence. Confidence sustains behavior. Extreme failure damages trust. Sustainable success repairs it. You begin to believe in yourself. Belief changes behavior. This chapter connects directly to the book's philosophy. Simple rules. High impact. Low effort. Eat reasonably. Move regularly. Sleep consistently. Manage stress gently. Doctors recommend basics for a reason. Basics work. This is not underwhelming. It is empowering. You do not need perfection. You need persistence. Health improves through consistency, not perfection. This principle applies everywhere. Nutrition, exercise, sleep, stress. Small promises kept daily build confidence. This connects directly to long-term well-being. Sustainable habits protect energy. They protect motivation. You stop negotiating with yourself. Habits reduce mental load. Less thinking, more doing. This reduces stress. Stress reduction improves health. Everything connects. Sustainable habits support longevity. They support quality of life. They allow enjoyment. This book is not anti-pleasure. It is pro-balance. Balance requires flexibility. Extreme systems collapse under real life. Sustainable systems adapt. Adaptation keeps health intact. As you prepare for the final chapter, remember this. Health is not built through dramatic reinvention. It is built through small actions, repeated daily. Consistency is invisible, but it is powerful. In the final chapter, we bring everything together. Daily practice, simple rules, because long-term health is not a theory. It is a lifestyle. Chapter 14. Enjoy life while living well. Health is not the goal. Life is the goal. Health exists to support living, not to control it. Health should support joy, not remove it. Too many people forget this. They turn health into a burden, a checklist, a constant worry. That is not health. That is stress. Pleasure and discipline can coexist. They are not enemies. A good life is healthy, meaningful, and enjoyable. This book has never been about sacrifice. It has been about sustainability. Living well does not mean living restricted. It means living wisely. Enjoyment is not weakness. It is fuel. Joy improves health. Laughter lowers stress. Connection strengthens resilience. A life without joy weakens the body. Health habits should add freedom, not take it away. When health removes pleasure, people rebel. When health allows enjoyment, people stay consistent. Consistency matters more than control. Extreme restriction destroys joy. Then motivation collapses. You do not need to earn pleasure. You need to integrate it. Eating should nourish and delight. Movement should energize. Sleep should restore. Life is meant to be lived, not managed. Pleasure teaches balance. Discipline teaches structure. Together, they create sustainability. This is the core message. Health should feel supportive. Enjoyment reduces stress. Stress reduction improves health. Everything connects. This book never promised immortality. It promised clarity. Living longer is meaningless without living well. Joyless longevity is not success. A good life includes celebration, shared meals, relaxation, treats. This is why the title matters. Eat your ice cream. Ice cream is not the enemy. Excess is. Fear-based health removes joy. Balanced health protects it. You can care about health without obsessing. You can be disciplined without being rigid. Rigidity breaks. Flexibility lasts. Life changes. Your health habits must adapt. Enjoyment reminds you why health matters. To enjoy moments fully. Health is a tool, not an identity. You are not your diet. You are not your workout routine. You are a person living a life. Pleasure is part of human biology. Denying it creates imbalance. Balance supports mental health. Mental health supports physical health. Everything works together. This chapter is permission. Permission to live fully. You do not need to suffer to be healthy. You do not need to be perfect. Health should feel human. Simple habits protect health. Enjoyment protects consistency. A healthy life includes rest days, celebrations, flexibility, discipline Without joy creates burnout. Joy without discipline creates chaos. Together, they create harmony. This book emphasized ease. Ease improves adherence. When habits fit life, they persist. Enjoyment keeps habits alive. Health advice fails when it ignores joy. People abandon what feels punishing. This is why extreme systems collapse. A good life is sustainable, not optimized. Optimization removes humanity. Sustainability preserves it. You do not need to chase perfect health. You need to live well. Living well includes pleasure. Shared meals strengthen relationships. Relationships extend life. Relaxation improves sleep. Sleep improves health. Joy is not separate from health. It is central to it. This chapter closes the loop. Everything you learned supports this truth. Health exists to support life. Simple habits, evidence-based choices, flexible routines, and enjoyment. You can care deeply without overthinking. You can be disciplined without deprivation. This balance builds longevity. Longevity with joy is success. A good life includes laughter, connection, purpose. Health supports these experiences. This book rejected fear. It rejected obsession. It embraced clarity, simplicity, enjoyment. Health is not a competition. It is a partnership with life. Listen to your body. Trust professionals. Build sustainable habits. And enjoy your life. Eat the cake. Take the walk. Rest when needed. Balance creates resilience. As this audiobook ends, remember this. You are not failing if you enjoy life. You are succeeding. Health is meant to feel supportive, not restrictive. Pleasure and discipline can coexist. A good life is healthy, meaningful, and enjoyable. That is the message. That is the truth. And that is how health should be lived. Final message of the book. Health does not need to be hard. Wellness does not need obsession. Live wisely. Live simply. And yes, enjoy your ice cream.